What's up guys, Jordan Anderson here from Valley Films, and on this episode, we're diving into the world of cinematography. Can we get some widescreen on this? I feel like this episode needs to be widescreen. Much better. All right. So what's up guys? Let's dive into my favorite subject, cinematography. I consider myself a cinematographer. So being a cinematographer, also known as a director of photography, is the head of the camera department. And we're gonna go into a few more episodes about cinematography, but I wanna talk about the first step that many cinematographers take, and that's sort of taking on a project. So let's kind of like put a scenario to it. The director has written the script, the producer now has the funding, they're looking for you, the cinematographer, and so you join this project as a cinematographer, as a DP, so now you're interpreting the script, you're seeing how much money you have in the budget for the camera department, putting all those facts and figures together to figure out what you're going to need for this project. So obviously every project is different. Some are no budget, some are low budget, some are high-end productions. It all depends on what you're getting into. First step as a cinematographer is you need to figure out what camera you need for this project. Does the project call for an RA Alexa? Does the project call for a RED camera? Or does the project just need a DSLR? You need to sort of weigh the options. Do we need to rent this? What is involved when we get this sort of camera? What is involved when we bring this camera to set? Do we need extra memory cards? Do we need extra batteries? Is it all self-contained, sort of like a C100, or do you need to add parts to it? What's the right fit for this project? So obviously if it's a no budget production, then the director or producer is just going to ask you to bring your own camera and your own gear to set, which is fine depending on what you have. We have the 70D here. I wouldn't have a problem bringing that to set, although I wouldn't feel 100% comfortable with its image quality, because I know that there are cameras out there obviously that can achieve a better image quality. But then again, if it's a small set, if it's a small project, you may not need that super cinematic look. One of the main things that you need to consider is your budget. Obviously the producer will allocate how much you're allowed to have in the camera department's budget, but you also need to take that as a bit of responsibility. As a director of photography, you need to be very conscious as to what you're doing with the budget. Just because you're given $500 for the camera department's budget doesn't mean that you should use all $500. Because you have to keep in mind that this money also affects every other department. If you say that you need a high-end camera and it's going to require all this processing and extra memory cards and extra batteries, and you also need a monitor, a Ronin, a full light kit, all those total expenses, what they do, they take away from the project. So that means there's less money for the art department, that means there's less money for the costume department, that means there's less money for food. You gotta weigh that consideration, or with a really nice camera, with a really high-end piece of equipment, you're taking away from other departments. So that's just the first tip for our cinematography series. We're gonna dive into a lot more of the aspects of cinematography, but just that first one. So you need to figure out which camera is the right one for the job, and also one that fits within the budget and that doesn't hurt other departments on set. So thanks for watching guys. My name is Jordan Anderson. We'll see you next week on the Valley Films video blog. If you like these videos, be sure to subscribe to us and also follow us on Instagram. We'll see you next week on the Valley Films video blog.